Yo, 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 what's up, party people? Welcome to another episode of Thrive and Dive. Thriving in life as we dive into deeper conversations. The purpose of this show is to help you thrive, and I think you're going to thrive today because we have a very special guest. We have the Montana Golden. Montana, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
I got my first question is probably the most important question of the whole session here is why do you go by Montana when your name is Harmony?
Okay.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Dun,
way.
dun, dun.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yes, her name is Harmony.
Okay. To make a long story short, basically, like, my mom's, like, great-grandmother, like, kind of, like, I, like, say it's, like, on her deathbed. She's like, you're going to name your future daughter Harmony. And my mom was like, this was 6 years before I was born. Just had my brother. Like, I'm not having another kid. I'm going to be like a one and done. 6 years later, I happened, and they did not want a girl. They were like, we're going to do another boy. And they're like, okay, we're going to name her Harmony. But then they really want, like, the name Montana, which is actually a Hooters waitress that they knew.
Oh, there you go.
They used to go there, like, on date nights. And I guess she was really sweet to them. So, yeah. They never called me Harmony like my whole life. I've always been Montana. Unless I'm in trouble, then
Wow, so
I get
named after
Harmony.
your grandma and a Hooters waitress? Is that?
Grandma's, I don't know where Grandma got this name.
Oh, it's not even her name.
No.
She just wanted you to be named Harmony.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't even know.
Interesting.
Wow.
So is it Harmony Montana?
Mhm.
And Montana is like your middle name?
Yeah.
Wow.
So interesting.
Does anyone call you Harmony?
Not unless, like, I don't correct the professor.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
As you're going to learn, Montana is a student at Warren University and on our spiritual life team. But every time I had to go to email her at the beginning, when I first started the job, I'm like, where the heck is Montana Golden in my contacts? And it's Harmony. Oh my God, I'm forgetting. So yeah, goes by
Yeah.
Montana. Let's go. So yeah, before we jump into your story, Montana, talk to us, share with the audience who you are, what you do, why you're on the pod.
Okay. Well, I'm Montana, but I go to Warner as a student. I'm a junior. And I don't know, I work for the spiritual life team. This is like my first like full year. And I don't know, I didn't really see like leadership in college as like a thing. I went to college to play lacrosse.
Oh, yeah.
And do ag. And yeah, the Lord just really turned my life like upside down here at Warner, and it's completely different than how I thought like it was supposed to go.
Isn't it cool how the Lord works like that?
Yeah.
It flips our lives upside down
Yeah.
sometimes.
Are you still playing lacrosse?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I left it like right before like we started like being in season. Like a week before the first game actually.
This
Oh, wow.
year?
Or last year.
Last year. Okay.
So you did one full season as a freshman, and
Like-
then right
like-
before the sophomore season, you decided, yep.
No, I don't explain it. Like I left right before the season actually started. So I played all of preseason with them,
Yeah.
all fall season, but like before actual official game started,
Yeah.
that's when I left.
Okay,
Mhm.
gotcha.
So-
During your freshman year. Gotcha.
Mhm.
I didn't realize you were a junior. For some reason, I thought you were a sophomore. So you've been
No,
at one
I'm
or
a
2 years?
sophomore.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you said you were a junior just a
No.
second ago.
No, I said I was sophomore.
Oh, I thought you said
Wait,
junior.
yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
No.
I was like, man, I was actually getting nervous because I'm like, oh no, I only have one more year left with Harmony or with Montana. I'm like, no, I am going to be in shambles. Sorry, now I got Harmony in my head. I've never called you Harmony until that very moment right there. Yeah, but no, you said you were a junior. I was panicking. I'm like, oh my goodness,
No,
Montana's
wait,
a junior.
Did
Yeah,
I? I
you
mean,
did.
I credit, but I still got 2 years left.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
okay.
You got me nervous. We had to cancel the show. Be like, have a moment of silence. Yeah. Okay, sweet. So, okay, that makes sense now. Great. So, what brought you ultimately to Warner?
Honestly, like I was always looking at secular colleges, just because I really didn't think like Christian college was for me because a lot of Christian colleges don't offer ag.
Hmm.
So I like went on like the website Christian Connector, and they like connect you with different colleges, and I just like put like ag education in there, and what they did was like reach out to me with different colleges, and I saw Warner, and I was like, okay, like maybe. And then as I was like looking into the school, I actually got like recruited by the coach, and I was like, whoa,
Ah.
this is like God.
Yeah,
So,
double
like,
whammy. Has your major
Yeah.
and offers lacrosse
Mhm.
opportunity.
Yeah.
How many schools have like an ag program? I mean, I'm sure you don't have the number on the back of your head.
With secular, probably a lot, but with Christian, at least I know for a fact on the Eastern time zone, there's 3, and Warner is in one. The only
Wow.
southern one. The other 2 are up north.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Shout out to Warner University's
Yeah.
ag program. Yeah, one of
Yeah.
3 in the United States Christian
Mhm.
schools. Wow, that's
And-
awesome. And you're still studying ag, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had Sky on. Shout out to Sky. And apparently she was studying ag, which I never knew, but now she's
Yeah.
not studying ag. So,
Yeah.
but you're
Mhm.
still studying ag.
Yeah, I stayed true.
Yeah. You're only a sophomore. I mean, junior. Or sophomore. Yeah. So you still got time to switch. Now I'm playing. What do you, is it just one degree you can get in ag, or is there different specializations you can get in ag?
They have, at Warner at least, they have ag studies and ag business and ag education.
Which one are you doing?
I was originally ag education, but then I switched to ag studies, and now I have a minor in education, minor in marketing.
Wow. So what's I know you're only a sophomore, but what's the dream with this ag?
Honestly, I don't know. At first, like when I came to college, I wanted to be a teacher. I got into the classroom a few times and I hated it.
Well, at least the Lord closed that door quick.
Yeah, I mean, at least with middle schoolers. Middle schoolers are insane.
Oh, that's tough age group.
But then I was like really into the marketing thing, but I don't know if I could just do that full time for a company. And I'd really been like loving ministry, like through like spiritual life. I just like love doing that. Like through Delight, I just love doing that so much.
Yeah, explain Delight real quick for those who are listening that doesn't know what Delight is.
So Delight is like a national college ministry based out of Tennessee. And what they do is they foster vulnerability through Christ-like friendships. And so that's something that we just started here on campus.
Yeah, that you started on campus. Yeah. She's done. You guys, you gotta see all the work she's put in. On the day that we're filming this, she had a bake sale. Just made money for Delight, for the ministry of Delight. So shout out to Delight. If you're a Warner student listening, by the time this video comes out, the school year will be pretty much almost over. But next year, Delight. There we go. That's what's up.
A whole new team.
A whole new team.
Yeah.
The dream team.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go. So I cut you off a little bit because I wanted you to explain Delight, but talked about your interest in ministry.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
That's never really something I like fully thought was possible, like feasible for me at least, just because like going to a school like out of state private, I was like, I'm never gonna be in ministry. I can't afford that.
Sure.
Just because it doesn't pay as much. But I always thought like, oh, I'll just do children's ministry like on Sundays side. But I don't know. I just really love like what I'm doing, and I like if the Lord like provides the way, I feel like that's something I would be really like keen on going into. Yeah.
What specifically has made you so passionate about this? Was there a moment where like, I guess I also even go further back if you don't mind doing rapid fire questions here. Sorry, my brain's a little scattered. But what made you want to start Delight in the first place?
When I was looking at secular colleges, I was like really trying to find that space, like when I go to these colleges, where can I find like my space on campus? Because I knew like I wasn't gonna be into the whole partying and drinking scene, like that's just wasn't who I am, and not something I really wanted to be associated with. And so I was like looking into it. And I actually saw a TikTok on it at another university, and so when I researched into it, I realized like, wow, this is like on colleges, campuses, like all over the entire United States. But then I decided to go to Christian school, and I was just like, oh, that's not going to be a space that I have. But as I like really started like working in the spiritual life and like getting more involved in school here, I just really saw that need for that space, like especially because like as I'm sure you guys have seen, like our school is so segregated by like sport, and so like I really do want to foster that like that Christ-like friendship with, especially within women. Like I don't know how much you guys see it, but like women on campus really do like separate themselves. And I was just like, well, how can we form this? And I was like, well, with the position I have in spiritual life, like you like just talked about today, like we are so seen on campus like as like leaders. And so I just was like, I feel like this is what the Lord's calling me to do. Like I kept seeing stuff about Delight even while I was at Warner. And my friend like goes when she goes to App State. So I was just like, yeah, I think that's something that the Lord's calling me to do.
Why do you think, based on your observation, and we're kind of using Warner as a case study, I guess, right? Because that's all we can study as I work at Warner. You go to Warner. Why do you think women are so segregated? Specifically, is that a Warner thing, or is that just a women thing in general in terms of like everyone sticks with their, I don't know, their sport? In this case with the Warner, but what is that? So you guys can both speak into that. But start with you, Montana.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, honestly. I think girls like just grow up being mean to each other. Jealousy and insecurity like starts at such a young age, I think, for girls than it does for guys. Like I know, like I started feeling those things like the moment I got into like pre-K. Like I remember like I remember stuff. Like,
I can't remember pre-K.
Like I remember stuff from that age and like feeling like I was less than another girl. I remember those feelings from that young of an age, and I think that starts so young for us, and I think it just feeds into like like puberty and adulthood that like we just naturally segregate ourselves and like, well, we don't need to be friends with other girls because girls don't understand me. Or like at least at Warner, like with the sport thing, I think our sports is so easy to get sucked into that because our school is so like athletics heavy. And so it's so easy just like, well, I don't need to make other friends because I have my team. And so I'm like really trying to break that is really like, it's so hard to do.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I think for Warner specifically, it's probably because it's so sport focused that everyone does have their teammates that like you almost don't need to go and find other friends. I feel like even for me growing up too, it's kind of the same of like other girls can be meaner. So if you have like a solid group of friends, it's almost like I don't really want to like put myself out there and meet other people because I don't want to be rejected or like left out.
That's interesting. So it's not maybe worth taking the risk of extending friendship to someone because of that feeling of rejection.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know, from a guy's perspective, that's a thing. Like usually, hey, you're cool. Hey, you're cool. Let's hang out. You know, I don't know. This feeling of rejection and comparison probably isn't as strong. It's still a real thing, but maybe not so much with women. So yeah, so your desire for delight is to see women from different spaces and places to come together outside of their maybe normal social construct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen that already, like specifically like with the leadership team, like one of the other leaders, like I played lacrosse with her last year. Like, you know, that was something that was easy, but the other leader, Demi, like, I don't know. I've never like saw myself being friends with a cheerleader. Like, I don't know. I always just thought those girls were like preppy and like, you know,
The cheerleader stereotype.
Yeah, the cheerleader stereotype. But like honestly, like she's the most down to earth person I met. And like that is something like if I had like I worked with her in admissions, but like just unless I like went out of my comfort zone to ask her that, I would have never known her heart and never would have known like the friendship that would have blossomed out of that.
Wow.
So like it's just like even other like just girls who just come to Delight, like people I would have never probably talked to.
Yeah.
That are now like I'm comfortable talking to them in the hallways. Like it's honestly like I just love that what we started and I just can't wait to see what happens with next year with the new incoming class of freshmen.
Amen. That's awesome. So to paraphrase, you're in ag, you're studying ag. Obviously, while you're in school, you're kind of discerning what you might do for an occupation. Tried out the teaching, didn't like that. Mainly probably because they're middle schoolers. Middle school's a tough crowd, but my parents are middle school teachers. While you're doing all that, start up Delight, realize that you have a passion for this. You're also really good at marketing. She's, as we've already said, she's on our spiritual life team, and one of her roles is to do marketing. And we have a rockin' super cool Instagram. So check out WU Spirit Life. I don't know what the handle is.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah. So you're kind of in the exploration stage still. If ministry could be something that's long-term career focused, maybe is that where you're kind of discerning right now?
Yeah, I'm just like really discerning that. Like I don't even know. Like I'm just kind of in that spot right now. I'm like whatever. Like I'm in school. I got 2 more years. Whatever the Lord says within the next 2 years, I'll just do it. Like
yeah, well, that's a great place to be.
Yeah. Just have that heart of surrender and being obedient to wherever He calls you.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how that develops in the next 2 years, and we'll probably have to have you on to do an update on where that is. But let's go ahead and go backwards a little bit on your timeline. You mentioned you have a brother.
Yeah.
Any other siblings?
No, just him.
Just him. How is he older? He's older, you said?
Yeah, 6 years.
6 years older than you. Wow. So talk to us about growing up in the Golden household. Wow, that's so pretty. The Golden household.
Well, I know I mentioned it to you today, but I'm actually originally from Florida, Panama City.
Yeah.
So about like an hour from Alabama. And that was so interesting. When we moved when I was 5, because my mom job opportunity. So we went to Delaware, which is like a crazy move. Like
crazy jump.
Yeah. And like both sides of my families all live in Panama City. So like completely like 5 years old, up and leaving everything like I've ever known.
Did your parents meet in Panama City?
They both went to high school together.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Deep roots. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So so then we moved to Delaware. So I was practically raised in Delaware. And yeah, I just kind of just lived life in Delaware. It was pretty all right up until middle school, and that's like when most of my struggles were. Just 'cause, like I said, or like middle school, like girls are mean. It's just not a good time for anyone, I don't think. But yeah, I mean, I just had a typical family. Like my mom, I love her. Like our friend, like our like relationship / friendship like really blossomed like soon after I found the Lord, honestly. My dad, he's like such a hard worker. And then my brother, we were not close growing up. I say that he would probably say something different, but
We gotta get him on the pod next to get his version of the story.
I would say we weren't close. I thought for the longest time that he hated me, honestly. On it, like it's just because like older brother like didn't want to be around his like little sister just because of the age gap.
Yeah, 6 years. I'm trying to think of. Yeah, my sister's only 3 years younger than me, but I felt like even that was kind of a bigger age gap to where like. I mean, my sister knows I was a mean brother for a season. We're good now, but you know, don't want to be associated or this or that. Yeah. So 6 years. Yeah.
Especially like because our birthdays are a day apart.
Oh.
And so like we'd like grow up like a little bit sharing birthdays, and then like as he got older, I'm sure he was like, I don't want this little girl like with me hanging out with me and my friends. But I like our relationship after he went to college, like I think blossomed. I think I like to say this when he realized he loved me. I get a joke. But yeah, so honestly, like my relationship with my family has like grown so much, like since I was a kid. I don't know. I was like the sensitive kid growing up, so I was like, no one loves me, and I'm all by myself. But like honestly, like as I grew up, I was like, I grew out of it. Like honestly, it got so much better. Like as I got honestly when I found the Lord.
Yeah, so talk to us about that. When you found the Lord, what season of life were you in, and describe that experience?
Yeah. Like I said, like middle school was really hard for me. I like really fell into a deep depression, and anxiety, and I seriously thought like I had nobody, and that was really hard for me. Just because, like I said, like really insecurity is like what got to me. I always thought like, one of my biggest insecurities like body image, and I thought I was the worst person in the room, like looks wise, and so I just like let that really feed into everything, friendships and everything, and so. I don't know, like I just remember like constantly breaking down crying, like coming home and crying. And it got to the point where right before COVID, which would be my 8th grade year.
Oh wow.
So
Whoa.
I'm sure that's me whenever I talk to the kids at the youth group and they tell me their middle school years. Yeah, so I just got to that point where I broke down, and around that 8th grade time, my mom, around like middle school, like all the years fluctuate now to me. But around that time, my mom decided to stop working, solely for the reason that she would afraid that I wouldn't be alive when she was home. And that was like a really big part of my life. To the point like I even begged her to like have me go live with my grandma back in Florida. Like I just didn't want to like be in Delaware anymore. I thought like I had no one here. And so during COVID, one of my friends, she like kept inviting me to like church stuff, and I was like, no, like not for me. Like that's weird church stuff. And so she had ended up asking me to like a pool party with some of her friends, and I was like, okay, like sure, I'll go. And then she kind of didn't tell me till last minute, like, hey, it's also a Bible study. I was like, well, I'm already committed to go now.
Yeah.
So I went, and like I was so nervous. Like I'm an over preparer. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go buy a Bible. So I went and bought a Bible, like so I didn't look like I didn't know what I was doing, because I was like, I don't want to be the person who doesn't know anything. So I bought a Bible, never have even touched it. Like I literally unwrapped it in her car, like with her mom. And so they drop us off in the pool, and then we do the Bible study. I was like, okay, like some of these girls were in high school, and I was like freshly out of middle school, like COVID years, and I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. And I just kind of slowly just kept going to church with her during her youth group. It was really weird, like doing youth group. We all just sit like 6 feet apart with like the mask and everything. And some of it was like even on Zoom. Like if the pastor got like COVID, we had to do it on Zoom. Like, and that was like even like nerve wracking for me. I was like, I'm not turning my camera on. But honestly, that's like when I like truly found the Lord. And like I believe it was the summer before I went to, so that COVID summer, I went and got baptized at the church, and I like dedicated my life to the Lord then.
Wow. That's so cool. I'm going to adjust your microphone real quick as I ask another question. Perfect. What particularly about that Bible study youth group made you want to like stick around? Because we just talked about how girls can be nasty and this or that. What was different about this group of people that kept you there?
Honestly, it's just because they talked to me. Like they truly were interested in getting to know me. And so that was just something that was like so like different and interesting. And these were girls who I like they in my head, I'm like, they're so pretty, they're so cool. Like these girls would like, if they went to my school, they would not want to be friends with me. But like the fact that like I was at this person's random house, like in a bathing suit, like most insecure for me, and they just were like interested in getting to know who I am.
Mm.
I thought that was like so cool, especially because a lot of them were older. Like a lot of them were in high school.
Mm.
And they're girls who like whenever I go to that like the young adults group at that church today, like I know that they'll still like come over and still talk to me, like
Wow.
even though it's been years
Mhm.
since I've been there, because I go to a different church now. But yeah, and just like that community.
Yeah, that authentic care they show towards you, which is a great like testimony for you now, demonstrating that authentic care to the girls that come to Delight at Warner. And also you minister at a youth group too at First Baptist, right?
Yeah.
So wow. Yeah, what's that like, ministering in that capacity at First Baptist?
Yeah, I mean, I started doing that last year with Emma, my roommate. And so I was like really nervous. I was like, oh, this is weird. Like, I'm not sure how much I like this. And so I always just kind of like stuck behind Emma, and I was like, okay, I'll just kind of sit behind her, understand like how she does it. Because Emma's like, you guys know Emma, she's very like well spoken. And so this year they changed it up how they did it. And so now we specifically just do the middle school instead of all of the youth group. And so I got the opportunity to lead my own group of middle school girls.
Wow.
And so that is something like I really get to pour into them about. Like a lot of my girls, it's like me and Emma will talk about like how different our girl group are. Like there's like a very chill and chillax, and mine are like they very emotional heavy girls. And I'm like,
Oh, wow.
I feel like that was definitely the Lord like bringing those girls to me. Like 'cause I understood those feelings in middle school.
Sure.
Like I understand.
Resonate. Yeah.
And so like just really like telling them that they're not alone. And that I'm here for them. And so that was like such a blessing to like pour into the girls like who are feeling the same things that I felt while in school. Especially like dealing with anxiety and depression. Like that is so heavy for me. And the girls that I'm ministering to at the youth group are experiencing those same things.
Yeah.
And it's been really cool to like watch them grow and try to help them understand like how much the Lord can help. You just have to want it, you know? So
Yeah, because would you say the Lord and then that community that you're surrounded with back in high school helped you with your anxiety and depression as well? What's that been like since then?
yeah, honestly, it's gotten so much better. I like did things in high school I never would have done. Like I never thought I would have done in middle school. Like I started doing sports. I never did sports prior to that. Just like the insecurity and like hanging out with girls who I never thought I would have hung out with, especially in the sport crowd. And yeah, like just doing all the things I never thought I would do. And then even coming to college doing those things too. So it really just helped boost my confidence.
Wow, that's awesome. Do you have some follow-up questions? I got some more.
Since you were kind of young during that time, still in middle school, still living at home, what was that like with your family? I guess now that you were wanting to go to church, go to a youth group, were they kind of supportive, or did they see that change in you?
Yeah, I mean, my parents, they always taught me who the Lord was and who Jesus was. But we stopped going to church when I was really young, just because of their church hurt. And so, yeah, I just kind of like, I think it was a little shocking for them a little bit, just asking like if I could keep going and like having them drive me to church on Sundays. And so occasionally they came to my baptism, but really they weren't really like involved in it. They were just like, they'll take me, maybe ask a few questions about how it went, and that was really it. But they were never like, yeah, you're not going. Like, so they were definitely supportive. They just weren't like involved. Well, which is like, their own like a part of their own story and their own testimony and seeing how the Lord works in them. So.
And you mentioned earlier you're pretty close with your mom still.
Yeah, me and my mom's relationship has grown so much, and like especially this past like year, it's really changed a lot. I'm sure like like with the cancer and everything, like that has like really changed our relationship and like just the appreciation we have for each other.
Yeah, was it? Yeah, if you don't mind me asking, what was it like going through that trial with your mom? Because she's beat cancer, right? Yeah. Talk to us about that if you don't mind.
Yeah, that was like the scariest thing in my life. Honestly, like up until that point in my life, like nothing truly like was like bad or life altering. I never like lost someone like really close to me or anything like that. And so just like hearing that news like over the phone while I was in college, like I just remember running out of my room and like my dorm room and crying. I like locked myself out, locked my key, like put my keys in my room and just ran. And And that was really, really hard for me. I just remember like that night, like crying in the shower, like a girl on the floor and like praying like, God, why would you do this? Like I've been obedient. Like
Mm.
I went 18 hours away from home. I did all these things for you. And why? Like why? Um, Especially like I knew my mom wasn't like super like in a really deep relationship with Christ. And
Mm.
so I knew that like I know like, but she's not a bad person. Like why? And it was just really hard. And really with our relationship, we've really like grown into like more appreciation for each other. Like just like I don't know, like when you go into that like watching someone you love like get super sick like that, um just you really just really realize how short life is.
Mm.
Because like that, like I remember like hearing all the stats from the doctor. Like where she would tell me that the doctor said, and like, what? There's a chance like that she may not make it. Like,
Mm.
what do you mean? And like the idea that like I don't know, just a thought like my mom could not be at my wedding, my mom could not be at my like with my future kids, like that. Like I think really like both of us made us realize like how much like short life is and how much we need to like better care and appreciate each other. So like I call my mom every day, like
Mm.
almost every day. I'm like
Wow.
on the phone, FaceTime with her. And yeah, like I don't know, we just like I don't know, like like Gilmore Girls, like that relationship, like our like relationship is practically like that. Like we're jokeful, we're funny, with each other, and so yeah, like our relationship has just got like blossomed so much and changed so much too.
Wow. That's awesome, Montana.
Yeah.
I'm glad you understand the Gilmore Girl reference. I don't. I imagine it's a good thing.
Lorelai and Rory.
There you
Yeah,
go.
they
That's
do
awesome.
have a cute little relationship together.
That's awesome. Yeah. Talk to us what it's like. You've kind of shared bits and pieces already, but how's your faith grown since being in college, away from home at Warren University?
Yeah, I mean, it's grown in a way I didn't even think it could. I don't know, like I just kind of like in high school, I was just doing like that basic like faith stuff, like going to church, going to youth group, going to summer camp and all that stuff, and hanging out with like Christian friends as much as I could. I mean, I went to public school, so that's a little hard.
Mm.
But honestly, like being fully like surrounded by a Christian community at all times, like having professors that pray over you and all that, like really realizing that like this fully can be every aspect of your life and not just a church part of your life. And so I don't know, just like really like taking a moment like in certain areas of my life to realize like how much God is in every space. Like it can be in work, it can be in my schoolwork, it can just be like in anything. And I just realized like, especially like working with the missions and doing the tours, like how many little spaces I get to talk about like God and Jesus and like on my tours, it's just like crazy. And I didn't think like, what do you mean God can be in architecture? Like the Darby building shaped in a cross. Like that is like so crazy to me. And like talking about all of our different presidents on the wall, like in the like PC and like talking about like how, God pointed them here. Like most of them aren't even from Florida. So like they were listening to God's calling and talking about that, and so just like realizing like God truly can be in every space of your life and not just like on Sundays and Wednesdays.
Yeah, that's good.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Montana.
Yeah.
Super cool. Yeah, we're so blessed to have you on the spiritual life team. And obviously you've been at Warner longer than I have in the sense of, I was a student there, but like, it's my first year on the job. So seeing you already, working and operating in your giftings, and I just get to honestly enjoy the fruits of the person before me, hiring you, being a part of the team, and super pumped for next year and all that God has in store for you.
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions? I have a couple more.
Okay.
Yeah. What advice, Montana, as we kind of draw near towards the end of this pod, what advice would you give to, I guess we'll start with the middle schoolers and high schoolers. And I'm sure you're already giving this advice at First Baptist, but it can also translate to college students as well. But what advice would you give to those who are, you mentioned your struggles with insecurities and things like that. What advice would you give to those who are in that world right now that are struggling with their insecurities?
I would just say like lean into God. Honestly, like how much like he truly can speak to you, like, even if it's not verbal. Like I don't like God does not speak to me verbally. I'm like the only like audible voice I've ever heard was be still. And so it's just like realizing like you have to like I don't know. For me, I kind of have to go out of my way to like recognize it. And I think some people to just like look for God and like honestly be still. Like that was the biggest thing that God told me when I was in middle school and high school. Like, just be still and like listen to the people around you. Like truly, a lot of it is in your head. And so like I actually going back now, just looking at old photos, like I can't believe I remember thinking these things about myself. Like, and so like truly just like be still and like listen to what's around you because it truly is in your head.
Wow.
So
That's awesome. Hope you guys are able to hear that and to let it be applied to your heart, because we all struggle with insecurities, right? You know, different shapes and forms of different insecurities, but trusting in God and understanding what he thinks about you is where you can find your confidence and contentment. Another thing I want you to share, if you don't mind, this one's a little more recent, so I apologize if it's kind of, you know, because of the recency. What would you share with someone who has a parent or a sibling that's going through cancer or a hard time like that? What advice would you share with them as someone of faith?
I was just like say like you're not alone. One of the things is like I always thought like, wow, like I don't know anyone else who's going through this, you know? And then it wasn't until like a few weeks into it and I realized like other people were going through this as well. Like actually at the exact same time, like the clay target coach wife like passed from cancer, and another like I know like a male soccer player's mom like ended up passing from cancer, and realizing like I thought I was all alone, but there are people who are silently suffering.
Mm.
And just like if you have to cry out for help, you have to cry out for help. Like, yes, the Lord's there, but like I said earlier, like the community is so important, and just like surrounding yourself with that community because you're not alone. Not only is God always with you, but there are people around you who are just waiting to love on you.
Yeah.
And that was like something I had to like be willing to accept.
Wow.
And so yeah.
Wow. Well, thanks for sharing that. That's some real talk right there. With that being said, do you have any final thoughts, Montana, that you want to share on the pod before we close this episode of Thrive and Dive?
Not really. Y'all pretty covered it.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks for answering our questions.
Of course.
And thank you to you guys for listening to this episode with the Montana Golden. If you enjoyed this episode and you're watching on YouTube, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you love the content. If you're listening on Spotify and you enjoy the content, be sure to follow us and give us a 5-star rating. But until then, this is Thrive and Dive, thriving in life as we dive into deeper conversations. Have a great rest of your day.